So you might wonder what the heck I'm doing throwing a bunch of camping gear in the back of my Volvo on a day like this. Yeah, it's the obvious thing. We're going camping today. And I seem to be going for a record of how late I can leave. It's currently 1:30. We still got to stop at the grocery store and get some fuel. Groceries acquired. And we've made it to the promised land, the Costco fuel station. Now that we're well on our way to our destination, we've got about an hour to go here. Let me fill you in on the plan. We're trying to get to a waterfall that I don't really think people go to in the winter. I couldn't find any pictures of it in the winter, at least. Looking at the satellite, the roads are pretty rough in the summer, so I'm really not sure if we're gonna be able to make it though. Either way, let me hammer out the rest of this drive, which will just be a few seconds for you, and figure out if we're gonna be able to make it or not. Wow, if Secluded was what we were going for, which it was, then I am doing pretty good. I haven't seen another car on this road since I left the freeway about 20 minutes ago. Wow, I couldn't tell if that was a hill or a cloud. It looks like it's a hill. Man, it is beautiful out here. I swear I looked at the radar before I came out here and there was not any snow predicted, but we are getting some nice big chunky flakes. As you can see down that way, we're heading into the snow, so I'm gonna air down the tires preemptively because I don't wanna have any issues. All right, we'll leave those things on there for a little bit to make sure it gets aired down all the way, and then I'll swap back over to the valve stem caps. We have officially started the adventure, and there is more snow out here than I initially thought that there would be. Let's just say that. Well, it's a perfect time to replace the valve stems on the wheels because I just started to hear the power steering whine. Well, I guess it's time to get back on the road. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did you see that? Just kidding. I know a pretty easy way to catch up. And just like that, we're back. That was a good thing I know that trick, you know? So this road here actually isn't even the bad road. This is like a proper good road. This is just like a normal gravel road. Bad road we are coming up to in about another 7 minutes here. All right, we are turning off of this road onto a road with no traffic signs, but this is not yet our serious off-road road. All right, here's our really rough road. It looks like it does have a stop sign, so that's promising, I guess. Well, it seems okay in first inspection. I'll have to see how it goes. I think that was a puddle. I did notice on the satellite that there were routes people had taken to get around like puddles and stuff, which made me a little nervous. I think the ground might be frozen enough today that we aren't really having to worry about that, but I'm still worrying about it. Keeping very close eye on this hill. Oh, hey, there's a coyote? Yo, what? Can't tell if it's like a coyote or a fox or what. I'm not very good with wildlife. It is not interested in me though, that's for sure. I've got a new camera bag set up, so all my camera gear is in one place except for the drone that didn't fit, and I forgot that it wouldn't fit, so it is not here. I just got the thing fixed, too. Whoa, that's the thing with snow. Sometimes you can't see the obstacles. I think we're gonna make it to this dang waterfall. There is a lot more snow here than I was expecting, but not too much, which is a good thing. There's the right amount of snow. I could totally camp here if the road gets too rough later. It looks like there's sort of a road up here. I could come up here and camp probably. Don't get too close to the edge in this weather. We've got snow up to about my knuckles, so you know what, I call that 2 or 3 inches. Man, it is cold out here. I'm gonna go get back in the car. All right, here is where that road turned into a track, and so we'll have to see if it looks like it's anything worth continuing to drive down, or if we just want to camp by the falls there. Yeah, I just don't know if it's worth risking it anymore. Coming down here this far in this car is already not necessarily the smartest thing. It's just gonna get worse. So yeah, for my safety, I think I'm just gonna head back to the falls and we're gonna camp somewhere in that area. know if that looked impressive on camera, but I'm very impressed with that. That was crazy. That's a steep hill down there at the bottom before it levels off up here. One of my favorite things about snow camping is you never need to bring a fridge. And we have no service out here this time. I like this connecting, but I like being able to be rescued if I get stuck more. It has gotten to be about 4:30. It's probably gonna get dark around 5 or so, so I think I'm gonna get started on dinner so I have the benefit of daylight. Welcome to the XC70 kitchen. It's not much, but, well, no, it's not much. It's just a stove sitting in here. I don't think it's gonna melt anything. Let's hope. What do you wanna guess today's forgotten item was? It is a fire starting device. I don't have a lighter or a match. I thought I saw them when I threw them in here, but I did not, apparently. I did bring this stove. I don't think it has a fire starting device built into it, but I'm gonna check. You hear that? That's our ticket to lighting a fire tonight. I bought this thing for motorcycle camping and then never actually used it, but I'm glad I threw it in today. So let's see if we can make this happen. Hey, there we got a flame. Oh my God. Well, that is one way to do it, and now we have heat in our main stove here. You know, I just realized I probably could have just used the spark that happens up here and not bothered with the gas bottle. We'll try that later. Speaking of things I forgot to bring, I actually forgot to bring any sort of butter or grease or anything, so we are just cooking these things dry, which probably won't turn out all that well. I like a good steak, but I can't appreciate a good steak, so I bought the cheapest one they had there. We're gonna season it with just an old rub I had laying around the house. And in case you're vegetable illiterate, this is a zucchini, a summer squash. These are some of my favorite things to have warmed up and fried, and it's a really easy camp meal. Like I said, I like a steak, but I don't really know what I'm doing with one, so usually I use a thermometer, but today we're going to be going by the back of the hand method. The steak should feel about like that from what I understand. And also from what I understand, you should flip a steak pretty frequently, and I think I got my pan a little hot there. That's already seared. Is this the correct ratio of veggies to steak? Well, let's see how I did here. Well, that's looking pretty damn good. It's nice and juicy, a little hint of red. Man, I think I did a good job here. Man, that is actually really good. I was not expecting that. Let's see how this zucchini with no butter turned out. It's fine, not bad. And no, I didn't forget. I just didn't want to stop eating that steak. I did grab a brewski today, the Goat Meal Stout from the Iron Goat Brewing Co. in Spokane, Washington. I've actually had this beer a lot of times in their brewery. Oh yeah, it's a very coffee-like beer, which is just delicious and awesome for, you know, this weather. Whenever I come out and camp on the snow, I think I've got to get a dark beer. All right, let's get that fire started. I always forget to pack paper, and then I end up scrounging around for, you know, grocery bags and that sort of thing. Here goes nothing, I guess. I think this is my sketchiest fire build yet. Oh man, I can't believe I forgot the drone. These would have been some crazy shots. Knowing me, I probably would have tried to fly it under the bridge and wrecked it though, and that would have been gone for good. So to go with my fancy meal, I have Flamin' Hot Lime Cheetos, and I have these because this year I'm not eating any pre-processed junk when I'm at home. I didn't want to restrict myself from having camping food while camping, so here we are. These are some of my favorite chips, so they were an obvious choice when I knew I was going to be camping. At some point, this fire is going to fall over. Quote me on that. I've got one more thing before I'm gonna relax, and that's dessert. Dessert is these peanut butter M&Ms, because that's another thing I'm not allowed to have at home, but when I'm camping, I can have a little pack of M&Ms. That ought to make a pretty good sized fire. These are my last pieces of wood, but this is a big fire, so it should last a little longer. I'm kind of just itching to get into the sleeping bag, to be honest. It's just so chilly out here, even with the fire. At least I've been able to enjoy some excellent beverages. You might be wondering what I'm watching, and the answer is just some YouTube stuff that the YouTube algorithm downloaded for me. Usually I wouldn't recommend you watch YouTube, be on your phone, whatever, while you're camping, but when it gets dark at 5 o'clock and you're on your own, what else are you supposed to do? Man, I think it's time to hit the hay. Ever since the quote-unquote sun has gone down, I've been freaking chilly, even with this fire here. Without the fire, I'd have been in the tent hours ago. Man, I might be freezing, but I'm having a good time. Let's climb into that tent over there. Oh. Holy crap, it's cold. Okay, I need to get into the sleeping bag and stuff. As I get into the sleeping bag, I got my car camping sleeping bag. This guy right here is my backpacking sleeping bag. It's a down bag, it's pretty warm. And even inside of that, I got a sleeping bag liner. So we have 3 layers. Last time I was doing this when I camped at about freezing lows, I just used this car camping bag and I was warm enough. So hopefully with these 3 bags, I'll be plenty warm tonight. Oh my God, it's cold. Camping at freezing is one thing. Camping at 20 degrees Fahrenheit, that's like a whole other beast. I am so much colder than I remember being. My feet, I still can't feel them. I am going to sleep. Good night. God, I slept for like 12 hours. I stayed nice and toasty too. Wow, that was a good sleep. Top of my bag here is all covered in frost and stuff. Looks like we got a little dusting of snow, but you know, not too much. Okay, I need to get packed up and get out of here. Yeah, I think the propane is just too cold to burn. I don't really know what to do about this. I guess I'll stuff it in my jacket and see if I can warm it up over the next few minutes. All right, yeah, we aren't gonna be able to get that flammable, I don't think, in the near future. Let's take this thing apart and we'll use the other stove, I guess. You know, that feels pretty stable, surprisingly. We're gonna try and go with that. All right, so that's heating up, and I'm very careful not to bump it. Let me show you what I got for breakfast. This is a Kodiak oatmeal power cup. Peanut butter chocolate chip, it looked delicious, but it's way too much, you know, sugar and stuff to have on a normal day, so this is sort of a treat. Oh, I've got a banana that's frozen. I don't think I'm gonna be eating that. That's no good. And I've got my little portable coffee set up, so we're gonna have some coffee this morning. So actually this oatmeal says to use a 3rd cup, but then it doesn't have any line on the box for doing that. I'm just gonna add a little water to it and hope that that goes well. I forgot an important component of this coffee device. I don't have anything to filter the coffee with that I can think of offhand. I guess I will just pour the coffee mixture into this mug here and then sip off of the top and hope I don't get any grounds. Well, let's see how my unfiltered coffee is. It's okay, pretty under extracted. I'll drink it though until I start getting grounds at least. Kinda seems like this stuff is turned into oats, so let's see how that is. Delicious, isn't it? Yeah, it's good. Seem to have gotten about the right amount of water. I think I'm gonna finish my coffee here and then I'll get on the road. If you can call this a road, that is. Oh, that was fun while it lasted. It's got a big mouthful of grounds. That was just awful. Ugh. All right, well, I think it's time to get on the road. It is almost 10 o'clock. We got about an hour and a half drive till we get home. I don't know, I might stop and do something on the way. Grab a geocache, I don't know. Say goodbye to the falls. All right, so you might have noticed that we went right there instead of left. We're just gonna go explore a little bit, see what else there is to see out here. We got the time, it's only what, 10:15 right now, and the drive home's only an hour and a half, so we're gonna see if we can find anything interesting. Rock Creek Management Area, Escure Ranch. Oh, that road takes us to that creek that we camped on last night, except there's obviously no falls there. We got time, let's go check it out. God, they have an example of how to extract chronic wasting disease samples, which I think is just a disease that causes animals to become, well, wasted. That's very graphic, though. I'm not going to show that on camera. Yeah, there's a recreation area here. We got this map here. We are right here at Eskier Ranch. We came in on this road here. This is the road we're going to take out. I'm going to go check out the creek just down here, though. There's kind of a cool looking bridge. It does actually look like you can have motorized vehicles out here on the trails. Oh, it does say it is seasonally closed, so we can't go out there. Man, it sure is just absolutely beautiful out here. Oh man, this place is incredible. What's incredible is that I have it all to myself. No one else is crazy enough to be out here in the winter. Don't want anyone else in here with me, do I? Alright, well, if you can believe it, I think I'm kind of bored of driving through these wintry roads, even if it is fun. I think I'm just going to follow the Google Maps and head for home. Oh man, that was one of the better slides I've done. Maybe I'll change my mind. No, we're gonna head for home. We're coming up to a paved road here and I'll air up the tires and we'll get on the road for home. It looks like we got about an hour left. Man, just about everyone who drove past at least slowed down to make sure I didn't need help, and I, of course, really appreciate that. But now for us, it's just time to shred it home. Can't hurt to have a little more fun before we get home here. Oh, and with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please leave a like down below. And if you have any suggestions or just want to share the excitement I have for staying in the snow, then leave a comment. If you want to see more adventures like this or me getting my cars fixed so we can go on adventures like this, then hit the subscribe button. I've got to get the car unloaded and get the footage dumping. I hope your weekend is as good as mine just was. See you next week.